All the perspectives are your identity centered, your belief centered, your ego centered. You see what you believe in, you see what you have identified yourself with. A Shiva devotee sees Shiva's image in the random clouds, but a Rama devotee sees a Rama's face, and Krishna devotee sees Krishna's face, and a non-Hindu sees nothing, just clouds. An artist sees a painting. What you are seeing is based on what you have believed in. What you are seeing is based on what you have already identified yourself with. All your perspectives are nothing but your own identities reflecting outside. When a painter goes to a market, then he can find a painting shop very easily. And if a sportsman goes to a market, he can find a sports store quickly. Even if they are going for the first time to that market. All perspectives are from our ego, from our identities, from our beliefs. And what is truth is not an identity, not a belief. It is beyond that. It cannot be limited to one identity, one belief. All perspectives, when it comes to truth, are wrong, very limiting. You cannot grasp truth by having a good perspective. You cannot realize what is truth by changing your perspective. That, oh, today I have a small perspective. Let's make it big, let's make it wide, broad, and then I can grasp what is truth. No. Any perspective is an obstacle on the path of realizing truth. All the perspectives are wrong when it comes to truth. Because all the perspectives are based on limiting beliefs, limiting identities. Can you see without a perspective? Can you see without a perspective? And can you, after seeing, have no perspective? Because after seeing, if you have a perspective that, oh, what I saw was like this and like that, then you have not seen. Then you have created a new perspective. And that new perspective can be better than the last time, broader, wider than the last perspective you had. Yet, at the end of the day, it is again a perspective. And what is truth is not a perspective. What is truth is not some higher perspective. So, by changing your perspective, you cannot realize truth. Truth cannot be attained by you growing your perspective evolving. No. Can you see anything without perspective? And after seeing, can you be without perspective? We are too habituated with seeing everything from identities, beliefs, from some perspective, and then coming out with some perspectives, the old one or something new. But whichever way, we are always seeing through some lens. Can you drop the spectacles and see? Can you drop all the lenses and see? Can you drop even your eyes and see? Then you have seen. Can you simply drop all the perspectives you have and see and end up at no perspective? Seeing without perspective and ending up again with no perspective. Don't see without perspective and end up with a new perspective. Oh, I've realized a new thing. No, remain empty. Can you do that? When you see something with perspective, you're only seeing your identities. That's why different people see differently. Same thing, different people see very differently. The very thing is not different, the seer is different. In fact, the very seer fundamentally is not different. The perspective they have is different. The beliefs they have are different. Identities they have deep down them are different. That's why same thing, everybody sees as different. And that's why there is a collision. You have to fight. Because one will say, this is what I have seen, and thus this is right. And I have seen so well, I cannot be wrong. I saw it for many years, I cannot be wrong. Another person says the same thing, and 1,000 people saying like this. Eventually they have to fight. Somewhere they will collide. Conflicts will arise. Can you see without perspective and end up again with no perspective? Truth is not a perspective. When all the perspectives disappear, then what remains is truth. Not the word truth, not the grammatical word truth. No, truth, the way it is. What remains after you have dropped all the perspectives is truth. And when you experience that which remains, don't label it as truth. Label it as nothing. Because if you label it, oh, this is truth, again you have formed a new perspective. Again it has become your psychological deduction, conclusion. Do not label it again. Let what remains be what remains. Don't name it anything. That is truth, but don't call it truth, because when you call it again, it's a perspective, it's a conclusion. Now you will twist it, turn it, you will express it in your own language, and you will corrupt it. All the corruption happens from our ego. See, without perspective, and then whatever will be seen will be truth alone.